السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम।
Can we make sure our mics are muted? We're mutation man.
زاد ها ها قا قا Okay. We're going to have to run everything back from the first part of the class. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأصلي وأسلم على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والله المستعان. All of this time the sound was off. جزاكم الله خير. Everybody online, can you hear now? Online,
Yes.
can you guys hear now?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So what we were talking about, our young brother Muhammad, he asked a question last week about using he with regards to Allah Azza wa Jalla. So we let him know that regarding using he, that always in the language with regards to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we use the strongest gender. And that the use of such articles in language is for the purpose of expressing about Allah Ta'ala, and the strongest gender must be used, but it's not attributing gender to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala the way we understand it. And what was left out in that particular class when Muhammad asked that question was the principle that ishtirak fi ism sifa لا يستلزم اشتراك في حقيقة الصفة. That sharing the name of a characteristic or a quality does not necessitate sharing the reality of that quality or that description. So we use the example of a head. We say, put your name at the head of your paper, the head of a company, head of the class. In all other uses of the head, they're accepted, related to the form in which they're used and what they're used in relation to, So, if that's the case with created things, that even if we use the same description for them, the same adjective for created nouns, and even though we use the same adjective, the same description for these created nouns, we do not see that they resemble one another. We don't see that, right? We say the head of the paper, the head of the year, the head of the company. And all of these things are created and they don't resemble one another just by having the same adjective applied to them. So if that's the case with created beings, then what's the case between the creator and the creation? There's impossible to be a resemblance between the creator and the creation in any sense, period. And Allah Ta'ala said, Laysa kamithlihi shay. Allah said, there's nothing whatsoever like him. And then he attributed to himself as-Sami' wal-Basir, that he is the all-hearing and the all-seeing. So he negated anything resembling him, and likewise, at the same time, he confirmed an adjective for himself, a description for himself, that also his creation are described with, which is hearing and seeing. So there's no resemblance between the two. So whether we use adjectives that are considered from the names and attributes of Allah, like Ar-Rahman, and then someone can be Rahman, somebody can be merciful, right? Ar-Rahim, but somebody can be Rahim, and like that, Latif, Al-Latif, and somebody can be Latif. Even though we can have that for creation, it's nothing whatsoever like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On here on the board, when we first started, we were talking about la, because we were talking about the way a Muslim is supposed to think and the way the certainty a Muslim is supposed to have. Because certainty is the opposite of doubt. And doubt in reality is disbelief. And the only way for a Muslim to protect himself from doubt is through knowledge. The only way a Muslim can protect himself, him or herself, from doubt is through knowledge. So the more knowledge that the Muslim male and female has, the less doubt that they have, or doubt at that point should be completely and absolutely removed. Doubt should be removed. So when the Quraysh came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they wanted to make him doubt. I mean, came to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and they wanted to make him doubt the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam during the Isra, the ascension. I mean, the travel, the journey, and then the Mi'raj, the ascension. So they said to him, the Prophet traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem in one night, and then up into the heavens and back all in one night. They said, do you hear what your friend is saying? He's saying he traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem in one night and back, and went up into the heavens and came back. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, Inni la usaddiquh. He used this la here. This la with lam fatha it comes before present tense verbs only, and it is for emphasis. It comes before present tense verbs, and it's for emphasis. So he said, Inni la usaddiquhu fima huwa ab'ad min dhalik. He said, indeed, I believe him in that which is more far-fetched than what you're saying. يَأْتِيهِ الْوَحْيُ وَنَحْنُ عِنْدَهُ. Revelation comes to him while we are with him. I believe that an angel comes to him from Allah. Allah says this angel with words that Allah said to the angel. And the angel repeats Allah verbatim, quotes to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the words of Allah. And then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam commits that, or is able to commit that to memory. And then after that, he tells us, we're sitting there, we don't see the process, but we believe in the result, right? So this is what it is. And then we talked about this la up here, the lam alif. So this la comes before nouns and verbs. And this la is used for negation, and it's used for prohibition. And we gave some examples, like for negation, la ilaha illallah. So that la before ilah is negating any ilah. So la ilaha, there is no ilah illallah, other than Allah, meaning that there's no God worthy of worship other than Allah, and everything else that is worshipped besides Allah is worshipped and falsehood. And then we said also was la and nathiyah. It's to also, I'm sorry, we use that. That's nathiyah. That's called la and nathiyah. And then we have la and nahiyah. And nahiyah, this la is used to also prohibit. Prohibit, like Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulu ra'ina wa qulu dhunna. Right? Allah said, La taqrabu zina. Do not come near to fornication. And like, so that's this la. It will be elongated, la. And this will be la. La, la. La, la. La, la. La, la. That's the difference. So elongating this improperly would make it either prohibiting or negating. Shortening this would make it an emphasis. So that's the danger of not knowing, now, of not understanding. Now, okay, and then we went over the 6 letters, yes. No, I'm okay, standing this hot. No, you're okay. You're okay. Now, maybe you can switch seats with them. That way, fan won't you? I think you make it a little more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you want to slide back, you can slide back some more. Yeah. Now, okay. So that's that. Then we went over the 6 letters that we took. We took ba, ta, fa, jim, ha, kha. So according to this class, these are the first 6 letters of the Arabic alphabet. And we mentioned before, for those who have went through the alphabet before, and they learned alif, ba, ta, fa, jim, ha, kha, and those who went according to the old way, abjad, was hukti kalamun, that the way the letters are set up for memorization is not revelation. It's not revelation, meaning ijtihad can be applied, and it can be, like we said before, it was called abjadiyya. Al-huruf al-abjadiyya, because they spell abjad. Abjad, alif, ba, really, hamza, ba, jim, dal, abjad. Right? Hawaz, ha, waw, zay. And like that, hutti, ha, fa, yeah. That's how the Arabic alphabet was during that time. Now, so people memorize abjad, hawaz, hutti, kalamun, and until the end, sahfaz, daghaf. That's how it went. That's all of the letters of the alphabet, like that. And then you have the eastern part of the Arab world saying it one way, and the western part of the Arab world had a different way to say it like that. So that's the way it went. So we're going ba, ta, fa, jim, ha, kha. We're doing it this way. And the reason for it, I'll let everyone know the reason for it. The reason for it is alphabets divided into two main groups: consonants and vowels. We mentioned in the beginning of the class, the first class, that the consonants are the what? What are the consonants? What did we say the consonants are used for? Anyone? Mikhail's looking in his notes. We're going to give him a chance. What did we say? The consonants. We said alphabets divided into two main groups: consonants and vowels. We said the consonants are. Your brother Marquand, you have your hand up. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
One, no consonant blends, and two, no silent letters.
No, I'm asking, what did we say the consonants were?
The alphabet of two different languages.
We said that the consonants were, we wrote it on the board in Arabic, al-huruf al-mabani. We said they were the building letters, that the consonants are needed to make words. And that's why we're taking them first. You cannot make a word without a consonant. Huh? The building letters. Consonants are building letters. So you cannot build a word without consonants, right? And you cannot say a word without vowels. Exactly. So even in Arabic, the name for a vowel is more appropriate than the word vowel as we know it in English, because the word for a vowel in Arabic is called harakat or haraka. Haraka is for the singular, and harakat is plural. And what the word haraka means, it means to move, means movement. Allah said in Surah Al-Qiyamah to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "La tuharrik bihi lisanaka lita'jala bih." Don't move your tongue in haste. La tuharrik. This is the la. We're talking about la again. La tuharrik bihi lisanaka lita'jala bih. Don't move it, because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he was, when the revelation came, he was afraid that he wouldn't what? That he wouldn't commit it to memory. So when Jibreel alayhi salam was reciting to him, he would recite swiftly behind him in order to commit it to memory. But Allah Ta'ala told him not to do that, because Allah is going to cause him to memorize. He's going to send it down upon his heart and cause him to memorize it. Now, so do not, so harakat means what? Movement. So this is appropriate for the vowel to be called what? A harakat, because it's what causes your tongue to move when saying a word. This is what makes the word move. You can put as many consonants next to each other if you want. Your tongue will not move to say a word until there's a vowel included with those consonants. Now, so those are the two that we took. We took some vocabulary. Who knows the vocabulary with their meaning? Muhammad.
Was like the word like are talking about the one with Allah?
Yeah, we took Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We took A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. We took Ana, Nahnu, Anta, wanti. That was our vocabulary. Ibrahim, raise your voice.
Bismillah, and it's the one, the only one, which is the right and the two. I don't know that understood are merciful. I moved exclusively merciful. I am not we are where us. أعوذ بالله shelter and protection with or in Allah the only one who is worshiping right and true. Be I say the extreme evil the other the
Nah, Rajim. Nah. Anybody else? Ahmed.
And that means I.
From the beginning. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I'm going to tell you guys a story. Yeah? But, yeah. Anissa.
I see shelter and protection with the worship separately, but around the sound, the extremely evil ones, the first one.
Okay. Okay, so what I need you all to do, or what you need you all to do, is to commit this to memory. I want to tell you a story about a scholar who was on a journey. I think we talked about this before, and that might have been another class, right? Okay, yes. Huh? Yeah, as soon as Muhammad comes back. Yeah, so the scholar was on a journey in a qafila. Qafila is a caravan. He was in a caravan, and there were highway robbers that robbed the caravan. And the scholar that was in that caravan was amongst the people who were robbed. So when they robbed the caravan, the scholar had his manuscripts, years and years of study that he wrote with his own pen. These manuscripts were taken with the money and everything else that was taken in that caravan. So everybody else, of course, out of fear of the robbers, they just fled and continued their journey. As for the sheikh, because his manuscripts were taken and they were worth more than money, he continued to follow those crooks, follow them until he saw their hideout. So this is how important his manuscripts and knowledge were to him. So he went to the hideout, knocked on the door. Okay. So he went to the hideout, knocked on the door. Thieves opened up the door. Yeah, you need to put that out there. Yeah, so what happened was, so the thieves what? The thieves opened the door. The sheikh said, I was in the qafila, I was in the caravan that you guys just robbed. I'm not worried about the money. I don't need the money back or anything like that. I don't want any problems. But my manuscripts, for years and years of me studying, you took my manuscripts, and I need my manuscripts. I narrate from my manuscripts. So the leader of the thief, the gang, he said, so you're telling me when you had your manuscripts with you, you are a scholar, and now that your manuscripts have been taken, you're ignorant? At that point, The Sheikh came to a realization of this situation. He left the manuscripts, returned to seeking knowledge from the beginning all over again, and held himself accountable to keep everything to memory. Memorize it. So this is very important, because Arabic is a science of interaction. You're either going to interact with people or with books. How could you read a book if you have to go to your notes and say, okay, but okay, now that's what I'm supposed to. How can you read like that? It has to be committed. It's an interactive knowledge. It's not knowledge, just information that you simply comprehend and put it to the side, and it's for interesting conversation. It's not that kind of information. This is an interactive type of knowledge, Arabic. So you're going to have to speak it. So these rules are going to have to be with you. Because in the beginning, and we're in the beginning stages, in the beginning, you're going to need to remember to apply. Oh, that's right. That's that. I don't want to say ba. That's the name of it. I don't want to say but. Okay, but. And then we want to add the kasra. So we're going to say be. And all of that, you're going to have to begin thinking according to the rules until applying it becomes natural. So you think based on rules, and then the application becomes natural. Inshallah ta'ala.
Was that ball Alex lamb? Coffee lamb?
Yeah. Lamb tell my book. Huh? Go ahead. Go ahead. So we're going to take this off. What's another one that was stronger? This one, that's right. That's right. It was this one. This one. Please don't say the mistake. The class is on. Muhammad. You will say the Yes, Muslims, we have to live with intentions. We have to live with purpose. Whenever you go somewhere, if you go to a playground, go with purpose. Use everything in there, sliding board, monkey bars, whatever they got in there, use it, go with purpose. Get the most out of it. Likewise, when you go to a place in which information is being disseminated. I don't care if it's secular knowledge, math, science, and all of the other sciences, history, or whatever. But get the most out of wherever you are, because you're going to need it later more than likely, as long as it's beneficial and like that. However, as my 6th grade teacher used to tell me, Mr. Bond, there's a time and place when. There it is. So there's a time for certain activity, and each act has a place for it. I don't have a problem. I play. I laugh, joke, play. I love to have fun, right? But it's a time and a place for it. So this is not the time nor the place, right? So those who at this time want to play, laugh, joke, and kick it, and just have fun with your friends, you should choose another place because this is not the place for it. This is not the place for it. I'm not saying never do it, just saying this is not the place for it, nor the time. Nah, so everybody did pretty okay with those first 6. I recommend you do not get discouraged and do not get lazy. Those videos that I put in with the letters in it inside the group, listen to them over and over and over again. Don't not just listen to them. That's what you need to do. You have to listen to them. I think I gave this example before. If not, we'll have it now. Why is it that deaf people can't speak? Their vocal cords are healthy. Why can't they speak? Yes. Not themselves. Okay. They never heard the sounds. I think I spoke about this before, right? Yeah. It was in this class, right? So our vocals can make any sound. All we need to do is hear it. We're not like any other creation. We're not like Allah said that man is the best creation. We're not like any other creation. Any sound that we hear, we can make it. Machines, animals, explosions, thunder, lightning. The human being, if he concentrates with his ear on that sound, he can manipulate his vocals in order to make that same sound. This is the amazing thing about human being. So if you guys want to get the sound of these letters correctly, listen to those recordings with the letters on them, and you're going to get them. The more and more you listen, the more you're going to be accustomed. I didn't put any conversation classes up yet because I'm going to do that once we finish the stages of the alphabet, which is about 8 stages. Stages of the alphabet are about 8 stages that we're going to go.
Okay, you got that on the YouTube?
Yeah. I just
want to know where it's at. So
yes, sir. Nah. So this is going to be very, very important to listen. If you don't listen, you're going to, if you're studious but not diligent, and really all it takes to be studious is to be present and to receive the information that's being given. This makes you studious. You're present in the classes and the lessons, and you receive the information as it's given, and you do the homework that's given. So this person is studious. But to be diligent means to go above and beyond what you're responsible for learning in your class. To listen more than it was suggested that you listen. To look up and take notes and look deep into what you're studying. This is being diligent. This is what's going to make you reach the level of perfection, because worldly things can be perfected. So what do I mean when we're talking about language perfection? Where you won't be fluent, you'll be native, right? You have people that are fluent, but they're not native. They sound different than a native speaker when they speak. You see someone who's fluent, they say, Assalamu alaikum, kayfa haluka, min aina anta, hal anta bikayr, alhamdulillah, ana bikayr. But you hear the accent, you don't hear Assalamu alaikum, kayfa halu, hal anta bikayr, min aina anta. You're going to pick up that native accent by listening. You're going to have to listen to it though. Once your ear becomes used to the sound, your vocals can produce it. But if the sound is strange on your ear, your vocals won't be able to produce it. It's simple human anatomy. This is how it works. So, we're going to take today dad. Yes. And dad. So the name of this letter is dal, 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 dal. That's the name of the letter. Dal. And this one is bal. Bal. Remember, that's the name, not the sound. That's the name, not the sound. And this is very dangerous because you have in Arabic so dal means like a guy. A guy, dad. Someone that the Prophet ﷺ said, authentic hadith, al-dalu ala khayr, al-dalu ala khayr kafa'ilih. The one who indicates or guides to a good thing is like the one who does it. Ad-dal, he said that. Ad-dal. Then you have with the dad, al-dal, which means misguided, astray. So dal means the guide, someone that points in the correct. Bal means someone who's misguided. Balun, mubillun. And that's why we say in Al-Fatiha what? Wala. The plural, right? Wa la. And do not make us from what? Al-dal. Al-dali. Nah. Right? Those who are astray. Sorry. Al-dali. So that means those who are astray. If we were to say ad-dali, that means those who point in direction. They give you direction. Dad. Lean. If we were to use that one. Nah. Dal, ball. Right? Two different letters, two different sounds. Two different sounds. So we're on dal. 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 Don't say dad. Dal. 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 And dal. Dal. Now, so the adad, when we say ad, is because this has qalqala, the echo. This has qalqala. So the dal is going to be the tip of your tongue. The tip of your tongue. And the best way I can describe it right now, remember, we're going to do this over again, inshallah, with more technical detail when you guys have some vocabulary that will make the terminologies easy. So I'm going to say, what? the tip of the tongue once again for the dad. But you're gonna have to imagine in your mind where your teeth have roots going into your gums. Try to put your tongue where you believe the roots of your teeth stop at, and that's where you're gonna find the dad. So it's not near the gum line where the back of the teeth is further back. Dad. Now, can you see what I'm talking about? Okay, so that's where it is. Don't put it too far up, because if you put it too far up, it's going to turn that dal into another letter, a ta or a qaw, depending how far up you put it, because qaw and ta, they're up in front of the dal. The tongue is from the tip of the tongue, but it's up further from where the dal is going forward towards your lips. So if you put your tongue up too far, you're going to flip the dal into a ta or a qaw, depending on the emphasis or the strength you put on it. So we have dad, and then. I'm the level. Now. But don't put the a sound, just the. Now. Now. Because remember, we said a letter with a sukun is no such thing as a silent letter in Arabic. But there's a such thing as a vowelless letter. It doesn't have a vowel, but it's not silent. Why? Because each letter makes a sound. Each letter makes a sound. The scholars, and when we go into Tajweed, we'll go into this, they talk about the makharij al-huruf, the points of pronunciation. So some scholars said it's 14 points of pronunciation. Some scholars said there are 16 points of pronunciation, where others said there are 17 points of pronunciation. But al-dikka al-mutanahiyah, but the exact extreme precision, there's as many points of pronunciation as there are letters, because each letter has its own point. But some scholars, they gathered letters together from one point of pronunciation because of the close proximity, because they're close in their point, right? So they'll say, okay, that comes from this area. Those three letters come from this one area. But you're going to see that it's not the exact same area. It's the same area in the general proximity, but specifically, they all have some space, because if not, it would sound exactly the same. Okay, so this is dal, added. Dal, added. Now, so now we have that. Be careful, because many people take this and they turn it into a zag. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll take zag, or maybe the day after tomorrow. This is not zag. It's not z. Doesn't make that sound. It makes. And what lets you know this is different from the tha? From the tha, we said that the tha is what? We said inhibas al-sawt wa jariyan and nafas. We said that the tha, it's holding back the sound, and the air is what? Released. For the dhal, it's holding back the air and the sound is released. So we say, no, that buzz is important. So no air, don't let, it's going to turn into that. As soon as you let air out, the that will become a that. Alladhina. Alladhina. Likewise with the that, the tip of your tongue may be seen, but it's not going to protrude beyond your incisors. Don't let your tongue go like that. It's right here. Right here. Now, الذين وإذا إذا إذ وإذ قال ربك للملائكة وإذ قال ربك right? وإذ قال ربك. Don't say وإذ. People say id, right? Number one, the kasra makes the e sound. There's no short I sound in Arabic. It's not it. وإذ إذا جاء نصر الله. إذا. So it's إذ. It's not if. إذ. It is not is. Now, إذ. وإذ قال ربك للملائكة وإذ. Now, okay? That. Then, I'm sorry, then, no, keep your tongue in your mouth on this one. You're close. You're going to have to listen. I'm going to put the recording in there. Now. Then. Now. Now. You let air out, so it's like fat. That buzz. Now. No. Hold it. Hold that buzz. Again. Now. Chef. But you have to open your mouth and your tongue coming out. Now. Now. So it's going to take practice over and over again. Inshallah, last time I forgot. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get it now, Val and Dad, so that we can. I'm not an administrator. I talk to Uncle Tore or Uncle Tony. Which one will be? Tony, Uncle Tony. When you talk to me, tell you everything. Tell them you're not in the NUC. Yes, I want to get the that, you guys, and the dad. Nah. So we have dad, edit. Dad, edit. Dal, dal, added. Dal, dal, added. Dal, dal, added. And then we have val, val. So we have val, ev, val, ev, val, ev, val, ev, val, ev, val, ev. Now, okay, I'm posting. Nope. About to post that. Good. Add it. Because I was late in posting last time, so I want to make sure everybody gets it. So that's that. We're calling out Amadou. Raise your hand if you want to speak, but do not call out. I'm going to show you guys what the shift has here. Okay, 1 minute. Can you finish sending it? Okay, we'll go back to it. All right, stop. Okay. So you see, yeah. So I'm telling you guys, download it. Sheikh Ibn Suwaid, for those who don't know, he's originally from Syria, but he lives in Riyadh in Saudiya, right? And Sheikh Ibn Suwaid, Habibullah Ta'ala, concerning the knowledge of the Qira'at, the recitation of Quran and Tajweed, he's like Sheikh Al-Albani was to Hadith. If anybody knows about Sheikh Al-Albani and his status concerning the science of Hadith of scholars of this recent times, then his status concerning Tajweed and the rules and the scholars of Tajweed of the past and collecting that information and disseminating that information, he has a book that inshallah we'll have the chance to go through called At-Tajweed Al-Musawwar. At-Tajweed Al-Musawwar. Tajweed Illustrated. Very detailed, beautiful book, but it makes it very easily. It makes Tajweed very easy. So inshallah we'll get a chance. Once again, Dal, that, added. 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 Dal, dal, ab, dal, ab, dal, ab, dal, ab, dal, ab, dal, ab. Now, and we said we're always going to say, inshallah, to remind everyone of the statement of Al-Imam Ibn al-Jazari, when he said what? He said, وَالْأَخْذُ بِالتَّجْوِيدِ حَتْمٌ لَازِمُ. In one narration he said, مَنْ لَمْ يُصَحِّحِ الْقُرْآنَ. Quran, because he read with the recitation of Hamza. So he said Quran, not Quran. So he said, وَالْأَخْذُ بِالتَّجْوِيدِ حَتْمٌ لَازِمُ مَنْ لَمْ يُصَحِّحِ الْقُرْآنَ آثِمُ. He said, in learning tajweed is a must. And what is tajweed? Some people think that tajweed is restricted to the recitation of the Quran. But tajweed are the rules of Arabic. This is how the Arab spoke to one another. And there's some extra rules in tajweed that's specifically only for the Quran. But when it comes to tajweed itself, meaning, according to Ali radiallahu anhu, when he was asked, what is the meaning of Allah Ta'ala's statement, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا, and recite the Quran with tartil. He said what? It is مَخَارِجُ الْحُرُوفِ وَمَعْرِفَةِ الْوُقُوفِ. It is pronouncing the letters from their proper points of pronunciation and knowing where to stop. So this is tajweed, this is tartil. In Surah Al-Muzammil, Allah Ta'ala said, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. In Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah said, وَرَتَلْنَاهُ تَرْتِيلًا. Right? So tartil is the way the Quran is to be recited. So this tartil, it doesn't start when you begin learning the Quran. It starts with the Arabic letters. Doesn't start with the Quran. Has to start before that. The Quran is in Arabic. So if a person is beginning to try to recite the letters properly after he begins memorizing the Quran, don't do what happened to me. Please don't do what happened to me. What happened to me? Really wanted to learn the Quran. So I was memorizing Quran before studying the Makharij al-Huruf in Arabic. So you're going to, when you begin learning the Makharij al-Huruf, you're going to have Surah al-Quran, Mahfuza, Khati'ah. You're going to have chapters of the Quran memorized wrong. And when you memorize something, it becomes second nature to say it how you memorized it. So you're going to find yourself working double. You're going to be learning now the Makharij al-Huruf, how to say the letters correctly, and in turn, how to say the words correctly, but you're going to have those things that you have memorized already still coming out the wrong way. Even after you learn, you're going to, inshallah, you're going to be learned, you're going to know, but it's going to still come out wrong. Why? Because it's based on how it's been stuck in your head. So it's going to be hard for you to break away from it if you're stuck on what you've memorized it the first way. So if you get it right the first time from the foundation, you don't have to worry about running into, maybe you'll think about it after the salah. Maybe someone doesn't know the mistake you've made, but after the prayer, you're going to think like, wow, I jammed that up. I was supposed to say it that way, and I pronounced it that. I pronounced it, people who have got stuck saying Salini. So then they recite the Quran after learning. They know this is wrong, but because the tongue made a habit of saying it wrong. So don't start like that. Start the right way. This is important. He said, وَالْأَخْذُ بِالتَّجْوِيدِ حَتْمٌ لَازِمٌ مَنْ لَمْ يُصَحِّحِ الْقُرْآنَ آثِمٌ. He said, learning tajweed is a must. Whoever doesn't correct their recitation of Quran is a sin. بِأَنَّهُ بِهِ الْإِلَهُ أَنزَلَهُ. Because this is the way the Lord sent it down. وَهَكَذَا مِنْهُ إِلَيْنَا وَصَلًا. And that is the way it reached us. وَهُوَ أَيْضًا حِلْيَةُ التِّلَاوَةِ. And it is also from the manners of recitation. وَزِينَةُ الْأَدَاءِ وَالْقِرَاءَةِ. And it is from the beautification of the performance of the recitation. Right? And then, like we said before, then he said after that, by some lines, he said after that, وَلَيْسَ بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ تَرْكِهِ إِلَّا رِيَاضَةُ امْرِئٍ بِتَرْكِهِ. And there's nothing between a person doing it and not doing it except for him exercising his job. Exercising his job. Right? So the English language is a lazy language. So we learn phonetics. That's the farthest they what like is phonetics, and like that, the TAs. The TH, the SH and all of that, how the DR, the sounds they make phonetics for pronunciation. But the actual points of pronunciation is not something that's studied as a part of English phonetics. In Arabic phonetics, the points of pronunciation are very important because number one, no two letters make the same sound. So to do that in English would be kind of pointless because there are letters, whether singularly or combined, that can make the same exact sound. S and C, F and PH and GH, and so forth and so on. So this is a problem. It's a problem. But in Arabic, the beauty of it, and don't listen to anyone saying, and you're learning Arabic, Arabic is the hardest language or one of the hardest, it's not hard. The reason it is not hard, if you're a person that is detail oriented, then Arabic is going to be easy for you because you're going to see the sensibility in the details of the way the Arabic language works. You're going to see that when you're given a rule, the rule is actually implemented and rarely or never contradicted. Whereas in English, you'll be given a rule and say, oh, that's only in this case, but here, that rule doesn't apply. It's like, okay, why did you give me the rule then? You should have gave me, the rule should be called an exception because it really doesn't apply except in these situations. Whereas Arabic, the rules apply 99% of the time, and maybe you can go as low as 97 for some particular rules. But other than that, 97 is a high rate. The rule is going to apply 97 to 99% of the time. The rule that you get, that's going to be the rule you're going to follow for the rest of your life in the Arabic language. For the rest of your life in the Arabic language. Next. Our vocabulary word for today is starting from Surah Al, and then next time we'll have a Quran with us to do this. Surah and Nas. So it's called Nas. Nas, right? Nas means mankind. Another word for it is ins. Another word for it is so this is the plural. So, and nas, the human beings. Insun, also this is plural. For this one, insanun. So this is an-nasu. Insun, insanun. Human being, human beings, mankind. Oh, I'm sorry. It means the same thing. Man or human. Mankind, humans, both of these mean that. And this one, insan, man or human. In Surah Al-Insan, 76th chapter of the Quran, Allah says what? هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا? Did there not pass over man a long period of time when he was nothing, not even mentioned? Huh. So, man or human. So, the scholars differ. They said, is the root or the origin of this, us being called this, the word? Messiah. Messiah, which means he forgot. From Nisyan. To mean forgot. Nisyan. And those scholars will say that this word comes from insan and nas and all of that comes from Nisyan. Nisyan, to be forget, to forgot, or be forgetfulness. Right? Is the story of the hadith of Adam, alayhi salam, when Allah Ta'ala created him. And then when Allah Ta'ala created him, he brought out from him his loins. And he saw his children that would be born into Yawm al-Qiyamah. He looked to his right and he looked to his left. He saw amongst his offspring a beaming light, one of them that was just bright and beaming. And he asked Allah, who is that? Allah Ta'ala said, that is your son Dawood. Adam alayhi salam said, how long will he live? Said he will live for 60 years. Adam said, give him 40 for my life. So when Adam reached his time period of living, less 40, and the angel of death came, he told the angel of death, you're early. I still have 40 more years. Then Adam was informed, have you forgotten? You wahabta arba'ina sana libn Dawood, that you gave as a gift 40 years of your life to your son Dawood. فَنَسِيَ آدَمْ فَثُرِيَّتُهُ يَنْسُونَ. So it said that, so Adam forgot, so his offspring forget. Adam forgot, so his offspring forget. So they said that this word, man and mankind, comes from Nasi. We're named that because we're forgetful. Right? So that's one point. The other point of view is it comes from this word. Oh, I'm sorry. To forget. Mm-hmm. Others say it comes from this word. Uns. Uns. Uns, which means socialize, to communicate. Uns. You say to someone, what do you do in establish me? I want to socialize with you. I want to, have a relationship with you. And, especially when someone's feeling lonely. Say, heaven at the kind of Mac establish me. I like talking to you because I take my loneliness away by mixing with you. So uns said it. So they said because the nature of man is to socialize. And they said the proof for this, their statement, is the hadith of Adam. Also, when Allah Ta'ala created Adam and he placed him in Jannah. And Adam had the whole of Jannah to himself. And the trees and everything, the gardens and the rivers and like that. But he felt lonely. So one hadith said, Adam felt lonely, so he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a companion to socialize. Or Another narration says, Allah saw Adam's loneliness and created for him his companion. Right? So, based on this, Adam needed to socialize. So, this is what socialization is what insan comes from, and this is the most correct position because of the scale. You see that? Hamza, Nun, Sin, Hamza, Nun, Sin. As for this, we'll have to come up with a way to create a Hamza before the Nun. And then the Ya, we will have to come up with a reason to take the Ya away. Because in no other form is there a Ya. And every form, we see the Hamza, Nun, Sin. So this is the position. That insan comes from uns, to social.
So is Arabic the first language on earth?
No. Adam, or let's say this, there's no proof in Quran or Sunnah that Adam alayhi salam spoke Arabic. There's no proof for that. And the proof that, as a matter of fact, he didn't speak Arabic is the fact that we mentioned earlier, that the first person to speak Arabic was from the offspring of Noah, Ya'rub. And Arabic was named after his name, right? So Adam alayhi salam wasn't in Arabic. And there's also no proof that Arabic will be the language of Jannah. That's an assumption. But it's nothing in Quran and Sunnah that says Arabic is going to be the language of Jannah. Nothing. Now, you see, what happened was, Allah Ta'ala in the Quran, he speaks about conversations that's going to take place in Jannah, right? The Quran is in Arabic, so those conversations are related in Arabic. So the people took that to mean that that's going to be the language of Jannah. But there are also conversations in the Quran related to the people of the hellfire, and they're also related in the Quran in Arabic. If that's the case, then Arabic will be the language of the hellfire also. So Allah Ta'ala is narrating to us incidents that are going to take place in the future, and he's not there letting us know what language is going to be there. What language is going to be
This is a language the Quran down
in the Arabic language. Exactly. So because the Quran is in Arabic, all of the stories, no matter what language was, is, or will be, they have to be narrated in the Quran in the Arabic language. Allah Ta'ala tells us about Ibrahim talking to his family. It's known that Ibrahim wasn't an Arab, but it's in the Quran. So it's narrated in Arabic. But Ibrahim wasn't an Arab. Musa alayhi salam wasn't an Arab, but his stories are narrated in Arabic. So just because it's being narrated in Arabic doesn't mean that the language of the speakers was Arabic. So if that's the case on earth, it's likewise for Jannah, it's likewise for the fire, but they will have a language. So this is Nas. Now, Nas is not restricted to humans. It's at times where Allah Ta'ala uses Nas or Ins, and he's referring to humans and jinn. Humans and jinn, they can be included. And then after that, because why? Both creation form societies. So based on the meaning of this, to socialize or to form a society, then any group that of the two that have free will, rather, can be included in it. Because when Allah speaks with orders, with commands and prohibitions, he's only speaking to the beings that have free will. Only the beings that, so when Allah says in Ya Ma'sal Jinni wal Ins, a group of jinn and mankind, right? Like that. So that's with that, that's Nas, sort of the Nas. These pens are beautiful. This is how I want to write. Everybody has that. Okay, we're going to take this down. So remember, Nesia, to forget. Nas, mankind, humans. Okay? So, we took the basmala, we took the isti'adha. So now on the first word is Nas. I'll make that bigger for everybody online. The first word is Qul. 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 This is a command. Ibrahim, head up. Qul. 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 That means say. Qul. Qul. Say. Now, so this is when it's in command form. Present tense. يقول. 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 That means saying. He's saying. قل say يقول. He's saying. قال. قال. Say. No. He say. قال. He say. So this is say. قل. يقول. He's saying. قال. He said. So we hear somebody say, قال رسول الله. They said the prophet said. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال. قل. يقول. قال. Now with this word, we're going to spend some time on this word because we're about to open up. Remember, and I said in the beginning, do not think about rules. Pay attention to patterns. I'm about to open up the pattern book. So now we're about to take some patterns because patterns are so much related to verb morphology, the way the verbs change. If I give you the rules, it's going to seem different. Pay attention to patterns. Remember, when I say pay attention to patterns, everybody in this class, mashallah, I see you writing. You writing means you're literate. You're literate. So now you have to understand that amongst the Arab people are people who speak Arabic perfectly and can't read or write. Right? So remember, we said that reading and writing is not a condition to be able to perfect the language. Our Prophet was illiterate. So now, if you all pay attention to the pattern, by the time you get to the rule, it's only going to be telling you why you do what you do because you're going to already be applying the rule. And this is how grammar is supposed to be. This is how grammar and language rules are supposed to be learned. This is how language rules. This is how language is supposed to be learned. Your own language, English. You were speaking fluently by the time you got to the third, fourth grade and start giving you grammar. Now, verb, action, word. Before you got grammar, that's the third or fourth grade. I don't know now because I know things supposed to be so advanced nowadays, but back in the day, you didn't get grammar until the third and fourth grade, but you were already speaking fluently. So we want to get our level in Arabic to a third or fourth grade level before we start discussing rules. Not rules, we want to pay attention to patterns. قل يقول قال قال nah. And then we have the masdar, which is the root. The root is قول. قول, which means statement. State. قل. Say. يقول. He's saying. قال. He said. قول. Statement. Mhm. When you step in there, come on. Okay. يقول قال قول نعم قول نعم قول. Yeah, we're gonna learn the makharij. We're gonna qaf is one of those hard letters. Qaf, 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 qaf. When we get the qaf, we're gonna take that qaf, 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 qaf. So it's gonna be qaf, 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 qaf. When we get to it, we're going to learn it, inshallah. So, qul. So, the scary part, we're always talking about points of pronunciation. We have the letter kaf. Right? Now, in the Quran, we have qul huwallahu ahad. We do not have qul. Qul. Qul means eat. That's how you order somebody to eat. Qul. Eat. So now, the difference between qul and kul. Qul huwallahu ahad. Say, He is Allah the one. Eat, He is Allah the one. You say qul, you say eat. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. Say, I seek refuge, shelter, protection from the Lord of mankind.
Is it just like is it longer than when you say like?
No, it's short. But this is qaf, qul, and this is ka, qul.
Oh,
So different for the pronunciation. So one is coming from the furthest part of the tongue, and one is coming from right before that. So one is aqa, and one is ak. So kaf is ak, qaf is aqa, ak, qul. So be careful. If you say qul, you see how soft it is compared to qul. Say, yeah, qul. Say, يا أخي قل ما في نفسك. Brother, say what you're feeling. قل ما في نفسك. Say what you're feeling. Now, أخي قل ما أمامك. أخي قل ما أمامك. أخي eat what's in front of you. You see the difference? قل ما في نفسك. قل ما أمامك. 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 قل 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 قل.
so you say quick. So the E kind of sounds like you're saying it's like quick.
قل قل. Now, so that's how it is. Okay. قل يقول قال قول. Now, okay, we'll start from Abdul Haq this time, the right side. No.
قل يقول قال قول.
Cheers.
قل يقول قال قول.
Old. Uh-huh. I'm gonna do it. No, come on. I mean, you gotta put some bass in your voice this time. Come on. Not cool. No, I want you to say not cool like I'm cool. No, it's cool. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. Nah. يقول قال from your throat.
Kala.
قال. You get close now. قال.
Kala.
There we go. قول. إنهم لا يقولون منكرا من القول وزورا. Right? They say منكرا من القول وزورا. They say evil statements in fabrications.
Cool.
Qul. Not, don't come from the cat. Don't come from the kha, and don't come from the cat. Qul. Yeah, you don't have to work on it. Yeah, in between. يقول. That's better. يقول. قال. قول. قول. قل. There we go. يقول. قال. Not قال. 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 Nah, that's better. قول. قول. Nah, that's better. She knocked it out. What you talking to her? The sister knocked it out. What you doing, man?
I don't know.
Well, expecting that, right? Like, it was hard on us. It's got to be hard for her, right? Cool. Now, kha is not coming from the throat. It comes from the qaf. And we didn't get to it yet, of course, in our class, but it's from aqsa al-lisan. Aqsa al-lisan is from the furthest part of the tongue from the two lips. So it's right before your throat, this letter, this qaf. It comes from qaf, 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 right? So it's qul, qul, qul. You're close. يقول. يقول. Here's what you're going to notice. If you feel the letter coming from this place, excuse me for using this analogy, but the place where you would draw out phlegm and mucus, you're too far. That you're at kha. If you're at the place where you draw out mucus and phlegm in order to release it from your mouth, then you're where? You're at the kha. The kha comes from there. Kha. The kha comes from there. Kha. Kha comes from there. But the qaf is after that going forward. So you have the kha here, and then after that going upward, qaf. 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 Qul. Yaqulu. Qul. 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 You see, you hear that? That's called. That's called. That's called. That's called. As long as you hear that, then you're too far down. Call. You're getting closer. Qul. Yaqul. Yaqul. Qala. Qala. See the alif. The alif makes you go ah. So it's qala. Qala. Now. Qawl. Qawl. Relax yourself. Don't be stiff. Qawl. Qawl. See, with the Arabic language, you're going to move your mouth. You're going to, qawl. Right? Now. Yes. Qul. Inshallah. Ibrahim. Now, recite the next verse. Nah, mashallah. He's like that in the morning of the Quran too. He can go out and he'll pick right up where he was left off. Okay, and we get everybody. So, okay, this is our vocabulary for today. We're going to be going over this. This is going to be the first word that we use. This is not a normal scale, right? This is called ajwaf, but we're not going to get into rules. Anyway, just follow the patterns. Follow the patterns. You're going to be surprised. Inshallah, I beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of our success. You're going to be surprised at how easy when you follow the patterns. The hardest thing probably is going to be what? Getting the pronunciation right. But you're going to see the patterns and say, you're going to open up the Quran Once we start taking these patterns, you go to the Quran and say, oh, that's what that is. Oh, okay. Yeah. And it's going to unfold. It's going to unfold, inshallah ta'ala. We'll stop here. Are there any questions about anything that was said in the class? Okay, so we'll stop here. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.